Phillipsburg Town Council meeting, September 6, 2022. Developer and attorney Michael Perrucci's comments during the time for public petitions. Mr. Perrucci discusses plans for a warehouse on the Delaware River riverfront and the fact that soccer moms would never live in the Flats of Phillipsburg because of an open gun range and junkyard make the area undesirable. So, because Michael Perrucci and his company, Perrone Construction, are not able to build homes on his residential land that soccer moms would want to live in, his solution is to build a warehouse. This means that because the largely residential area of the flats has been determined by Michael Perrucci to be an undesirable place to live, he is now going to seek to build a warehouse, amplifying the undesirability of the flats.
Mr. Perrucci? Thank you. Mike Perrucci, Washington Lane, Bethlehem. Thank you for your consideration. I want the record to note that this is the first time that Joe Minor and I ever agreed on anything.
Oh, I gave you 60% coverage.
So let's reflect that. After 30 years coming here, we agreed. I appreciate your stance. Just the litigation, whether I win or lose it, the litigation is basically about a conflict of interest of the council when they voted a couple of years ago to approve this project. The judge is not going to go into the merits of whether or not a cold storage facility should be on Howard Street or not. The judge is going to decide whether or not the council had a proper vote or whether one of the councilmen had abstained because a prior law firm had represented them. But what we found with this Georgia company is time is of the essence. That's why I've kind of been coming here. I thought it solved a lot of problems. It's 300,000 square feet. It's rail. When I met with Chris Cotty of the nonprofit railroad, he said if he could get one commercial customer, like this cold storage, he would get 90-10 money. That's what he told me, Harry, maybe it's 80-20 money. But he would get federal money in order to improve the rail for his tourism, but he needed one commercial client. We also talked about Atlantic States making a space for them to bring the pipes over so they could put it right there on Howard Street instead of taking the trucks through South Main Street to go to Bethlehem to put their product on. We talked with Northwest Cap to hopefully train 100 people, hopefully in Mercer and South Main Street, that would get $25 to $31 an hour, which would hopefully change their lives. We were able to negotiate with DOT to get the Howard Street extension money. That was a big issue. The first time around, Howard Street extension was just, a fantasy of mine. Well, now DOT is giving you $250,000 to design it. And then they'll give you a tranche to buy the land, then they'll give you a tranche to put the road in. So between the rail and the Howard Street extension, not only would this project create 100 jobs, but it would also help Atlantic States and some of the other industrials. I was the genius/idiot 15 years ago when this was industrial that came before council and said, hey, I'm going to do a residential there. Well, I've tried for 15 years. It just can't happen. You got an open gun shop on the one end, you got a junkyard on the other. I've had 20 or 30 residential developers come down and they're all basically said to me, are you crazy? You can't put a resident. You want soccer moms down at your park, they're hearing gunshots go off. First thing you got to do is try to, I'm sorry.